It's National Signing Day. ESPN 106.3 and WPTV are here to take you from the Treasure Coast to South Palm Beach County as our top athletes make their big decisions. Our Signing Day special starts right now. Welcome, everyone. The next 30 minutes or so are absolutely loaded with local NSD goodness. We'll run through all the major signings of the day, both football and non-football. Plus, we got a bunch of guests rolling through the studio tonight. Steve Walsh, Abe Elam, FAU head coach Charlie Partridge, and even a few of today's prep stars will be joining us for a live chat. Before we get to all that, though, let's get you caught up on how you can get involved in the show, because we want to hear from you, of course. Get off the fan forums and have some fun with us. ESPN 106.3's Wells Dusenberry manning the web. He's one of our go-to high school reporters, knows just about everything when it comes to recruiting and National Signing Day, Twitter, Facebook. Wells, tell everybody how they can play a part in our show this evening.
That's Emerson, right, Emerson. Plenty of ways to do that. The most important thing you need to know for this entire show is our hashtag, NSD1063. Search Twitter for it right now. You can instantly get caught up on the news of the day. If you have any questions for me, tweet at me at Hysteria1063. If you want to chat, like the ESPN 1063 Facebook page. We can connect that way as well. Plus, later on, we're going to have a couple of guests stop by and take over the reins, so you'll be able to connect directly with them as well. Now we'll get right back to work over here. And Emerson, you can take over, buddy.
Thank you, Deuce. We'll be talking to you very soon, my friend. The 2013 football season around Palm Beach County and the Treasure Coast, just like in years past, brought us plenty of stars that will be playing on Saturdays next season. Many of these players had already made their college decisions before today. Heck, Johnny Dixon and Casey McDermott are off at school already. However, we had one big-time recruit who kept everyone on the edge of their seats. Fort Pierce Central's Sharif Farheed. He's one of the best linebackers in the state, and today selected between Louisville, Arkansas, Missouri, and Michigan State.
I would like to take my chance to Louisville.
So the Cobras stand out, heading up to Kentucky to play for new head coach Bobby Petrino. The 6'4", 215-pounder, expected to be a big contributor in the Cardinals' 3-4 scheme. Raheed came close to committing to Louisville a few months ago, but backed off after then head coach Charlie Strong left for Texas. Petrino and company, though, able to land the coveted D-end. The Cardinals did miss out on his teammate, though. That would be the well-dressed Rashawn Shaw, the defensive end officially signing with Wake Forest today. Shaw was a longtime Cardinals commit, but backed off after Charlie Strong left. Also signing today is standout quarterback Sam Vaughn. The dual-threat quarterback inked his deal with Georgetown. Vaughn led the Cobras to the regional finals in each of the past two seasons. Over at Village Academy, the Tigers had two players sign letters of intent. Defensive end Kevin Bronson going hokey high as he picks Virginia Tech. Bronson chooses VT over South Florida and FAU. After a massive senior season, he's ready to make an immediate impact in Blacksburg.
I feel that, I could come in and play right away. I have a lot of goals set for myself, and, I'm going to work hard every day, try to, make my goals and make things happen.
Wideout Traquan Smith also making his mark today. The 6'2" senior heading to O-Town to play for my alma mater, UCF. Smith was a beast out wide for the Tigers, hauling in 30 catches for 14 touchdowns in 2013. Quan will join a night squad fresh off their Fiesta Bowl victory. Vero Beach standout Will Dawkins will be heading to the Big Ten next year. The senior defensive back signing to play at Indiana. Dawkins was also an electric wideout at Vero, but will most likely play DB in Bloomington. Despite the Hoosiers' struggles on the gridiron, he's ready to help turn the corner at Indiana.
I feel good about it, That's everybody's goal every day, to move forward and, do bigger and better things, and that's what they're trying to do. So I'm going to hop on the train and, go with them.
Dawkins not the only Fighting Indian moving on to the next level. Wide receiver Javante Bagley heading to Louisville to play for Bobby Petrino. The 6'2" senior recently flipped from Bowling Green to Louisville. Meanwhile, the starting quarterback Dalton Stokes will be heading to the Midwest to play for Valparaiso. The senior threw for over 2,400 yards and 24 touchdowns this season. At Jensen Beach High School, star quarterback Alex Ogle getting ready to play on the Smurf turf next year. Ogle heading to Boise State to play his college ball. It was a tough recruiting process for Ogle, who had plenty of schools interested, but not many willing to commit to him. Thankfully, it all worked out in the end.
I was at home, my parents had to calm me down some nights because I was just was livid, really, because I mean the fact that I would have a school, you know, come to my school and say like how I'm their guy and everything, sugarcoat it really, and then just pull away saying that they got another quarterback, you know. So I just kept with my faith really, and I'm happy everything worked out.
Another Falcons signing today, linebacker Xavier Preston heading to West Virginia. The 3-star recruit has been a solid Mountaineer commit since the fall. At Park Vista, Marquise Gayot is official to Miami, while good friend and teammate Renard Sharon inks his national letter of intent with Northern Illinois. These two have been good friends and starters for the Cobras since their freshman campaigns. It's a very emotional day for Gayot, who becomes the first member of his family to attend college.
Everybody in my family, you know, don't have that type of opportunity to go to college, and, you know, I do. So I'm taking advantage of that, and hopefully, you know, the next generation of my family, you know, will use my step to afford in their life and, you know, go to college also.
Gayot and Sharon were two of the 12 Cobra athletes who signed scholarships today. Get this, 6 softball players put pen to paper. Park Vista has one of the best programs in the area, and today provided a pretty cool moment for these ladies.
It's an awesome feeling watching all of my best friends succeed as well as I did, and everyone's playing together. We're all doing everything together. It's awesome. We have so much support from our friends and family. We all support each other, do everything together. It's great.
Media members outnumbered the signees 5-1 at Santa Lucia's today. It was basically Darrell Langham Day in Lantana. The 6'5" wide receiver also signing with the University of Miami. He says he enjoyed the recruiting process, but the Canes were an easy choice.
It ended up because I saw how the program was like developing. They were getting better and better. I saw that the players were like a family. They talked all the time. They hanged out all the time. The coaches would work with the students, everything, or the football players, almost all the time, try to develop them better, become better at everything they do.
Despite a late push from Gators head coach Will Muschamp, Cardinal Newman's Travis Rudolph sticking with the garnet and gold. One of the best wide receivers in the country signs his letter of intent to play for the national champion Florida State Seminoles. Lou Groza, a high school player of the year, was considering a number of big-time programs, Miami, Florida, Alabama, just to name a few. But FSU is where this Under Armour All-American felt most comfortable.
It's just where I felt that I could feel comfortable at for the next 3 to 4 years, and got a good vibe with all the coaches and all the players. It's just a good atmosphere all around over there. I hope to make a huge impact. I mean, because I'm definitely preparing for it, and getting ready for the next level.
I'm joined now by Travis's head coach at Cardinal Newman, national championship winning quarterback at the University of Miami, Mr. Steve Walsh. What's going on, my friend?
Great to be here, Emerson. Thanks for doing this.
Not a problem, not a problem. You know how much we love our local athletes. How exciting was today for you and watching Travis put pen to paper with the Noles?
Well, it's always an exciting moment when really a young boy's dream becomes a reality. Now he's a young man and going off to college and really his dream fulfilled. And to be part of that as his coach certainly is rewarding.
What kind of advice did you give him along the way?
Well, number one is that after today, the romance is over. The process is done. And it's interesting watching, all these athletes get recruited because they're treated almost like rock stars. And everybody wants to know, how's your mama doing? How's this? How's that? And they tell you everything you want to hear. But the romance is done. And it's not a free scholarship because they are going to get everything out of you. So you make sure you get everything out of that scholarship. That's my advice I gave Travis.
Now, we would like to mention Travis is not with us tonight because he has a playoff basketball game. Guy's just an all-around beast. But what's the deal, man? You drove him away from your Hurricanes?
He committed early, and he probably committed too soon. And, talking to Coach Golden about it, he said, I just hate when sophomores commit. And when that moment was coming and Coach Franklin wanted to talk to him, I said, Travis, you sure you want to take this call? This was summer of sophomore year or spring of sophomore year. And sure enough, he committed. And, just things kind of changed and evolved, and he wanted to kind of open things up, and then he decommitted, and it just kind of fell apart from there. So, I told him from the beginning, though, I wanted him to go to a place that he felt most comfortable with, and obviously Tallahassee and Florida State was the spot.
I know what you're referring to. He committed to the Hurricane program a couple of years ago, decommitted there just to keep everyone at home in the mix. What makes him such a special wide receiver? Because you've seen the rankings that all these national outlets have been giving him. Some rank him as high as the #1 wide receiver in the country.
Yeah, he really climbed, through the All-Star games, and really for him was the Under Armour game. And, when he got up there and playing against some of the nation's best talent, people really realized how good he was at his craft of running routes and feeling pressure and dropping his hips and changing directions. And, all those things kind of came together, and they realized that this really was the most polished receiver in the country, and that, equated to the #1 ranking.
Yeah. Can he be an immediate impact guy? Because, as we all know, they're losing Kelvin Benjamin, that big playmaker at wide receiver.
Well, they're going to want him to. Yeah. Physically, Travis is ready. He's one of the strongest kids, if not the strongest, in our weight room. He's a physical specimen. He's got everything that you would want as an incoming freshman. And you know what? More importantly, emotionally, he's a very well-grounded parent. His parents have done an outstanding job keeping him humble through the whole process. Really, through his whole 4 years at Cardinal Newman, he was incredibly humble, hardworking, and just all-around great young man.
Heisman Trophy winning quarterback Jameis Winston throwing the rock to Travis. That sounds pretty dangerous, doesn't it?
It really does. And
you don't like that as a former Canes member of the Canes, do you?
It's going to be one week every year. I don't know if I'm going to be able to pull for him, but it's certainly exciting for him. And Florida State's got a good thing going, obviously, with a great young quarterback, Heisman Trophy winner, and really a lot of good players around. So they have a chance to make a little run here.
Coach Walsh, thanks so much for joining us, man.
Thank you.
Really appreciate it. And we look forward also to seeing you rooting for the Seminoles next fall. Now let's check back over with Will Dusenberry at the Social Media Command Center. Deuce, Rudolph, been one of the most sought-after recruits this entire season. What are FSU fans saying about him today?
FSU fans are ecstatic right now about getting Travis Rudolph. You talked about it with Steve Walsh right there, one of the most explosive playmakers, not only in the county, but in the entire country. And one of the big questions you touched on there is how big can he be? Looking on our Hysteria face on Twitter, at Hysteria1063, Brian Blum asks, how good do you think Travis Rudolph is going to be, and can he contribute immediately for the Noles? I think the answer right now is he is a home run player. I think you can be seeing him make a big time impact in years 1, 2, 3, and 4. You look right now, FSU is losing its top 2 receivers, Kelvin Benjamin, who you mentioned earlier. He's leaving to go to the NFL. Glade Central, former standout. Kenny Shaw is graduating as well. So that is a big void FSU has. And when you have one of the top quarterbacks in the country in E.J. Manuel, I think Travis Rudolph is someone that is just an elite playmaker. He can go deep, catch an 80-yard touchdown. He can turn a 5-yard hitch into a touchdown. He can return punts, kickoff returns. This guy is so dynamic. I think you are going to really see him shine on the next level. We've gotten a chance to see him really perform at such an elite level down here in Palm Beach County. And as Coach Walsh mentioned, he's a very good kid. He's humble. He is going to work hard when he gets up to Tallahassee. So I think you're going to see him contribute very early on for this Florida State team.
All right, thank you very much, Wells. Bringing it tonight, big guy. I like it. The ESPN 106.3 and WPTV Signing Day special just getting started. There he is, folks. Let's show him. The newest member of the Louisville Cardinals, Mr. Sharif Rahid. We'll talk with the star linebacker when we come back. Plus, we'll keep whipping around the area for more Signing Day ceremonies.
No one covers more news in your neighborhood than News Channel 5.
Kelly Dunn, Michael Williams, they're very up on the local issues.
They get it right the first time, which is important.
Kelly, you are an awesome newscaster. She gives us information to keep us safe.
Michael Williams is a pretty firm guy when it comes to politics.
He grills them. He's a bulldog talking to politicians.
They do a great job.
They're real people. They are just real people.
Michael and Kelly, weeknights on News Channel 5 at 11. Local coverage you can count on.
At News Channel 5, we like to think WPTV stands for We Please the Viewer. And in 2013, we hope you've been pleased with the stories we've told about people who make a difference. Because living in South Florida isn't just about basking in the sunshine. It's about doing good things for your neighbors, excelling in school, supporting the fight against breast cancer, feeding the needy, understanding the autistic child next door. Living in South Florida is about good people doing good things. At WPTV News Channel 5, we love being part of this community. We don't mind the sunshine one bit.
When it's happening now, you'll see it live on 5. News Channel 5. Accurate weather updates in your neighborhood. Time-saving traffic reports. Stay caught up with what's happening during your day. From the area's only Nowcast. News Channel 5 at 5. Local coverage you can count on.
Welcome back to the ESPN 106.3 WPTV National Signing Day show. I am your host, Emerson Lotzia. William T. Dwyer High School is used to huge signing classes, and of course this year is not any different. 13 kids signed their letters of intent today, 8 of them from the football team alone. Running back Alonzo Smith is heading to Miami of Ohio after briefly flirting with FAU. Sean Boone makes his commitment to NC State official. And while head coach Jack Daniels is not getting ready to go off to college, the process is just as tiring for him.
I'm worn out. Still got guys to get in college, and I think we could have as many as 2 or 3 more signed. So we still have a lot of work to do, but it's a draining process.
Atlantic High School making a splash on signing day. Adley Enoisi and Thomas Owens both selecting where they will play their college ball. Thomas made his commit to FIU, while Enoisi, who is number 15 on our top 63 list, made the flip from FIU and will head to Syracuse. And for Enoisi, the decision was much more than just about football.
I was stuck between 2 teams and multiple teams coming in at the end. But at the end, after I took my trip to Syracuse, I found out how great the academic base was and the football team and how much of a family they were at the end of the day. So I had to go to Syracuse.
Treasure Coast High School, home to 5 signees. 4 girls will be heading off to play college soccer, and Jalen Wyatt off to Ball State for football. Listed as an athlete, Wyatt accumulated nearly 1,200 all-purpose yards last season for the Titans and is expected to play receiver for the Cardinals, and he is setting the bar pretty high for himself.
I'm trying to be like first team All-American, great. I've helped them get a great record, trying to win bowl games every year. You know, just have a good career at that school.
A historic day for Oxbridge Academy as they welcome their first signing class, Christine Creighton, heading to Tennessee on a soccer scholarship. The senior netted 33 goals last season and was named to an all-county first-team selection. Being the lone member of Oxbridge's first signing class, though, is even more memorable.
I'm so happy that I'm the first, I'm making history today, being with Oxbridge for the first graduating senior class, and be able to, come here and then, going to college. It's just a blessing.
At West Boca High School, one football player will be ditching the sunny skies for lots of white snow next year. Gerald Ferguson signs with Robert Morris University in Pittsburgh, the linebacker, credited for helping turn the team's losing record around from last year, and Ferguson couldn't be more excited about the opportunity to play for a D2 program.
Yeah, I'm excited. I'm just preparing myself for the cold up there.
And 3 soccer players also signing today at West Boca, so very, very busy out there. Joining me now, the big 3 from Fort Pierce Central, Sharif Rahid, Rashawn Shaw, and Cobra's head coach Josh Schaefer. Gentlemen, thanks for joining me. Really appreciate it. Relax, it's over. How's it feel, guys?
It's good. I feel I accomplished a lot.
What about you?
Real good, blessed. Everything's over with, and I found a stable place to be. So.
Yeah, most of the guys I spoke with today were absolutely relieved, happy as heck that it's finally behind them. I mean, Coach, watching them go through this process, are you a little exhausted?
I am, especially the last couple of weeks. Recruiting gets very hectic over the last 3 weeks into signing day, and so I'm relieved and happy for them.
Guys, let me ask you this. Is it hard, I guess, that point in the recruiting process where you got to call a coach and say thanks but no thanks? I mean, what was that like for you?
Well, we never really had, had a kind of basically conversation. Mostly it was, them telling us, how much they were interested and, basically trying to get a connection with us and telling us what they had to offer us. So, went from there.
What was it about Louisville that made you want to take off there?
New coaches, chance to play early, win 3-4. I know a lot of players up there already.
And for Wake Forest, you just decommitted from Louisville. You guys could have been teammates, man.
Yeah. Well, I wanted to look more at the academic part. And,
okay.
They offer a better academic standpoint for me. And then just the opportunity as a student athlete there. They lost a lot of D linemen last year, and they only have 7 returning. So coming in is a great opportunity.
Yeah. So you think you can make that impact, immediately in your freshman year?
Yes, sir.
Coach, what have these guys meant to your program? Obviously, we all know what a powerhouse that your football team has become. It seems like every year you lose these big stars. You don't rebuild, you just reload. But these 2 guys, it's going to be hard to fill their shoes in.
It really is going to be hard to fill their shoes. They had a tremendous season, both of them on and off the field as leaders as well as on-field production. So we're excited for the next crop, and very fortunate these guys were with us for 4 years.
Who did you guys look for help, maybe some advice throughout this process? Because I've never been through it, but my guess is it's probably not very easy. Who'd you guys reach out to?
Mostly parents, coaches, and friends. Just trying to get a vibe for the school. See what school we like.
Same for me, basically. You know, like teammates that left and went off to college, and you know what they experienced, and just like family, coaches.
Well, gentlemen, thanks a lot for joining us, man. Best of luck at the next level.
Thank you.
Don't be afraid to smile. Come on, Coach. You taught him. You taught him.
I did. He's got a better smile than that.
It's time for another quick break. Next up on the hot seat, it's former Cardinal Newman star and NFL safety Abe Elam. We'll talk about his signing day experience. There he is, back in the day, plus his special connection to this year's Dwyer team.
No one covers more news in your neighborhood than News Channel 5.
Kelly Dunn, Michael Williams, they're very up on the local issues.
They get it right the first time, which is important.
Kelly, you are an awesome newscaster. She gives us information to keep us safe.
Michael Williams is a pretty firm guy when it comes to politics.
He grills them. He's a bulldog talking to politicians.
They do a great job.
They're real people. They are just real people.
Michael and Kelly, weeknights on News Channel 5 at 11. Local coverage you can count on.
At News Channel 5, we like to think WPTV stands for We Please the Viewer. And in 2013, we hope you've been pleased with the stories we've told about people who make a difference. Because living in South Florida isn't just about basking in the sunshine. It's about doing good things for your neighbors, excelling in school, supporting the fight against breast cancer, feeding the needy, understanding the autistic child next door. Living in South Florida is about good people doing good things. At WPTV News Channel 5, we love being part of this community. And we don't mind the sunshine one bit.
When it's happening now, you'll see it live on 5. News Channel 5. Accurate weather updates in your neighborhood. Time-saving traffic reports. Stay caught up with what's happening during your day. From the area's only Nowcast. News Channel 5 at 5. Local coverage you can count on.
American Heritage is one school we never miss on National Signing Day. Usually, though, it's because of the incredible talent their football team is producing. This year, that talent is coming from other places. WPTV's Juan Diaz-Granados has our story.
It's a big day at American Heritage High School in Delray Beach. 13 signed their letters of intent, including 3 female soccer players.
Oh, it's amazing. It's like literally an unbelievable feeling. I'm just so blessed and so happy to have this opportunity.
That's Hannah Coy. She's heading to Yale in the fall.
When I went to Yale, I just kind of felt at home. I loved everything about it.
Teammate Taylor Pack is heading to Georgetown and Alex Price to Alabama.
And those 3 girls are all at big D1 schools that are very impressive, and we're just so proud of them.
The trio have been playing soccer together since they were 12 years old. But they're not done with high school ball just yet. Students and fans lined up outside the school after the signing to send off the soccer team. They're heading straight to Melbourne to play the Jacksonville Bulls in the state semifinals.
Signing day is amazing. It's an amazing feeling, but I'm really focused on that game later today, and we really want this one.
A win sends them to the state finals. Either way, they say that they will always support each other on and off the field.
Much like do everything together, so doing this with them especially meant the world to me.
Juan Diaz-Granados, WPTV News Channel 5.
Thank you, Juan, and we would like to add that the Stallions won in penalty kicks today and will be playing in the state title game tomorrow. Time now, we welcome in NFL safety, former Cardinal Newman standout, Abe Elam. What's up, man? It's been a while, right?
Great. I know, man. I'm doing well. How about you?
Doing good, doing good. This day's got to bring back some pretty good memories for you, right?
Yeah, it does, man. Very fond memories, man. Just a few years ago, it seemed like I was just sitting in my living room and sitting in the library at Cardinal Newman getting ready to make my decision.
Yeah. Was it the experience just as crazy as it seems like it is today for all these kids?
Man, I mean, the social media network and you know, all the internet and stuff like that, it's a lot bigger now than when I played. But, I mean, it's still the same enjoyment, still the same excitement.
Yeah, you have like 16-hour marathons on TV now. A lot of egos, though. Big kids on campus today. Tomorrow, though, I mean, they're going to have to check these egos at the door, aren't they? I mean, what should they expect at the college level?
I mean, they just have to soak it all in right now. It's a great accomplishment to be able to go forth, continue the education, as well as continue to do something they love, they're playing football. But just know, come that summer, when you enroll, you're just another guy on campus, and you have to go prove yourself all over again.
Now, over the years, you formed a tight relationship with the Dwyer football program. When did that start? How did that start? And did your brother, my guest, Matt Elam, did he play a part in that?
Well, you know, Coach Daniels has always been a guy that I've been very fond of. You know, Coach Daniels is one that's always put the kids first. He does a great job in, you know, helping these kids through this process as well as, you know, preparing them for this process. So we formed a good relationship, and, you know, doing this being my first year out of the league, you know, I kind of gained a lot of respect for those guys. You know, a lot of these kids like Johnny Dixon, I remember when he was little, me and his dad grew up together. You know, Alonzo Smith, me and his brother played at Cardinal Newman together. So I remember I had a lot of relationships with these kids. So,
sorry to cut you off there. You've even taken recruiting trips with some of these guys. What's that about? Is that just trying to play that mentor role with these guys, help them make that transition?
Man, this is all untreaded waters for these guys. It's the first time they're going through it. So to have somebody that's been through it, that's educated on it, you know, that was my role with them. You know, taking trips to, you know, Penn State with Sean Boone, going to Alabama with Johnny Dixon. It was kind of helping them through this process, to weed out what's real and what's not, and help them make a sound decision for them.
And Johnny Dixon already enrolled in classes at Ohio State, which is why we didn't talk to him today. He's the real deal, isn't he?
Oh, definitely, definitely. I mean, I talked to Coach Smith today. They're so excited. Coach Meyer is, you know, so jacked up about this recruiting class, and having Johnny as part of it was a big deal for them.
And their running back, Alonzo Smith, I know he flirted with FAU for a little bit, decided to make the switch to Miami of Ohio recently. What kind of potential do you see in him? Because he was a massive part in helping that team win a state championship this year.
I talked to Archie Denson, the running back coach at Miami, Ohio. They had him #1 on their board.
Wow.
They were surprised that they even landed this guy. That's how well he is. That's how well they had him high on their board. But I think he's going to be a sleeper, and he's one that's going to surprise people down the road.
And always, you are working hard with your team, Elam Foundation. Tell us a little bit about what fans should expect from you guys coming up.
Well, we're preparing for, you know, different opportunities coming up. You know, we're going to continue to be mentoring within the community. You know, June is when we do our annual Team Elam Charity Weekend. But we're continuing to build with our process and, you know, teaming with my brother Matt. We're doing a lot of great things throughout the community.
You guys are always doing great things. Good stuff, man. Thanks a lot for joining us. We appreciate it, Ed.
Thank you.
All right, we're going to look forward now to Wells Dusenberry back at the chat desk. Wells, what's going on out there, man? What are you hearing on Twitter? What are you hearing in the Facebook world?
All right, well, the latest right now, people sending in questions asking about what's going on here. This latest one comes from Zach Vargas. He asks, what was the biggest surprise on signing day? I think without a doubt, in my opinion, it is how well Louisville closed this recruiting period in Palm Beach County and the Treasure Coast. If you look back a month ago, this is a program that looked like they may be in serious trouble with their recruiting cycle with Charlie Strong leaving to go to Texas. But Bobby Petrino came in, and he has done a phenomenal job of closing. He landed 2 of the top prospects in the area. One, we had him in studio early on, Sharif Rahid, unbelievable linebacker. This linebacker is someone with a ton of upside. This is a kid 6'4", 215. He can put on probably 30, 40 pounds in that weight room. He could become a monster. There's a reason why teams like Alabama and LSU were coming in late on him. Plus, keep it up on the Treasure Coast at Vero Beach. Javante Bagley is another wide receiver that is very raw and has a ton of upside potential. 6'2". He's only played 2 years of high school football, but he has been electric for this team, a downfield threat. And you look at what Bobby Petrino does offensively. They like to throw the ball downfield to their wide receivers. So I think that's someone that could really step in that offense. And, of course, the biggest thing, Terrell Buckley coming in as an assistant for this Louisville team, he really came in and gave them a boost. So I think that's the biggest surprise here is what they have been able to do at Louisville.
All right, good stuff, Wells. Thanks a lot. Remember, you can get into the show. You can get chatting with Wells right now. Follow him, Hysteria 1063 on Twitter, also ESPN 1063 on Facebook. All right, that's it. We've run through all the high schools, but that does not mean we are done here. Next up, I talk with FAU head coach Charlie Partridge about a historic day in the newest era of FAU football.
No one covers more news in your neighborhood than News Channel 5.
Kelly Dunn, Michael Williams, they're very up on the local issues.
They get it right the first time, which is important.
Kelly, you are an awesome newscaster. She gives us information to keep us safe.
Michael Williams is a pretty firm guy when it comes to politics.
He grills them. He's a bulldog talking to politicians.
They do a great job.
They're real people. They are just real people.
Michael and Kelly, weeknights on News Channel 5 at 11. Local coverage you can count on.
At News Channel 5, we like to think WPTV stands for We Please the Viewer. And in 2013, we hope you've been pleased with the stories we've told about people who make a difference. Because living in South Florida isn't just about basking in the sunshine. It's about doing good things for your neighbors, excelling in school, supporting the fight against breast cancer, feeding the needy, understanding the autistic child next door. Living in South Florida is about good people doing good things. At WPTV News Channel 5, we love being part of this community. And we don't mind the sunshine one bit. When it's happening now, you'll see it live on 5. News Channel 5. Accurate weather updates in your neighborhood. Time-saving traffic reports. Stay caught up with what's happening during your day. From the area's only Nowcast. News Channel 5 at 5. Local coverage you can count on.
Welcome back to the ESPN 106.3 WPTV National Signing Day show. We, of course, like to take this day to show off all the amazingly talented high school athletes in our area. But let's face it, if you love National Signing Day, you are probably a college football fanatic. And that's great because so are we. And let's talk some college football right now. Charlie Partridge has been nothing short of amazing on the recruiting trail since he took the FAU job in December. Today, his hard work pays off as he hauls in a class of 24 kids, 23 from the state of Florida. Just moments ago, I had the chance to speak with Coach Partridge about the big day. Well, joining me now, head coach of Florida Atlantic University, Mr. Charlie Partridge. What's going on, Coach? How you doing?
Oh, just excited. Doing great. Thank you. Hope you're doing well. We're excited. We got 20 national letters of intent today, and everything went smooth, and excited to really celebrate this class for the rest of the evening.
Thanks for joining us over Skype. I know you're very busy right now gearing up for your big party tonight. So what do you like most about this group of guys? This is your first recruiting class at FAU.
I'll tell you what, I feel like we did accomplish two things. We really were focused on the state of Florida, and our entire class, because we have 4 kids that are already on campus. We have 23 out of 24 from the state of Florida, and we feel like we really addressed positional needs. We attacked up front. We got 5 D linemen. We got 4 O linemen. We needed a kicker to come in and compete right away, and we signed a kicker out of Orlando we're excited about, and got some really high potential in the skill positions also. So feel like we got a lot done this year.
Coach, what kind of challenges did you face being, a late arrival on campus?
That's the biggest challenge is, trying to do your best to evaluate the current team that you haven't had the chance to work directly with. But fortunately had some guys that were on the staff last year that were here to help me with that. And then just getting yourself organized and having a plan of attack in a 6-week period. So I really commend the staff to work together and get us to the point where we had a good plan of attack when we went out on the road January 16th.
You know South Florida pretty well, though, well-known recruiter down here. How much did your relationship with local coaches help out?
I think it helped open the door, but I got to give credit to the staff, from Roger Harriet, Rock Bellantoni, Brian Wright, Jovan DeWitt, Dan Shula, all those guys did a great job of going in and using their relationships as well to get us a chance to build a quick, earn trust quickly with these young men and give them a chance to know where FAU is going in the future.
So what should fans expect out of your program this year?
Well, I think the biggest thing is you're going to see a disciplined group. You're going to see a group that has fun playing the game, a group that loves playing for each other, and an exciting offense and a defense that's very aggressive. So there's a lot that fans have to look forward to when they come watch us play on Saturdays.
Thanks again, Coach, for joining us. Let's bring in Luke Stampini now. He covers the high school recruiting scene for 24/7 Sports. Just a warning, folks, he is about to drop some knowledge on us. Thanks for joining us, Luke.
No problem. Thanks for having me.
You just heard our conversation there with Coach Partridge. Your thoughts on his first recruiting class, because he did a heck of a job for only 2 months on the job.
For 2 months, he did a great job. He came in and he hit the trail hard. He has a lot of good relationships already in South Florida from his time just at his other stops, Wisconsin, Pitt, even Arkansas. Brought in a lot of talented players. Marquise Dudley Gordon's one of the top players, top safety, should make an impact early there. Trey Rodriguez, the guy that's going to fit in their new offense, a little speed back. They can get out in the slot and work from out of the backfield. Just a great job overall for, like you said, 2 months.
And he's pulled in a ton of guys from the state of Florida, 23 of 24 today. I think that's something that a lot of people are very critical of with FAU, the local recruiting scene, at least right here in our area, and also the state of Florida. I mean, that's got to be pretty impressive with you as well.
Yeah, he doesn't have to go outside the state very often. I mean, he can stay down in Broward County, he can hit Palm Beach, he can do Dade, but even outside of that, Tampa, he did well there. He did well in Daytona, Jacksonville. There's no reason for FAU to really leave the state of Florida for their class anytime.
And the defending national champions, the Florida State Seminoles, no surprise to see them pulling in a top 5 class, right?
Jimbo's keeping it rolling. Just Travis Rudolph was probably one of the biggest gets they got because he's going to step in next year, and he's going to contribute as a true freshman. Just a huge get. Jacob Pugh, a talented outside linebacker. They just keep bringing in guys year after year.
In Gainesville, lots of pressure on Will Muschamp after that disappointing 4-8 season. Did that hurt them today?
You know, for 4-8, they did a very good job, actually. You know, they brought in a lot of five-star talent on the defensive side of the ball. Where it may have hurt them was offensively. They need some offensive punch. And losing Dalvin Cook, a running back that was committed to them since April, you know, he flipped to Florida State. I really think if they have a better season this year, he's staying at Florida. And that's a guy that could help Florida this year, you know. So he made the best of a bad situation on the recruiting trail this year.
And you've seen the Hurricanes come in and scoop up a couple of our local guys from Palm Beach County today. How did they do?
Yeah, absolutely. Casey McDermott, a huge piece for them, left tackle out of Palm Beach Central. You know, and then you know, Marquise Gayotte out of Park Vista. That filled a role that a need that they had in the safety position. A big guy, good ball skills, good instincts, can come down and make the tackle. Miami did a good job there.
How can people follow you on social media?
Follow me at Luke Stampini on Twitter.
Easy enough. Thanks for joining us, Big Guy.
Thanks for having me.
All right, that's going to do it. That's all we've got for this year, folks. Make sure you keep tweeting at us, Hysteria1063. Stick around ESPNWestPalm.com, WPTV.com. There's some great content on the sites already, and they'll continue to be updated throughout the evening with more National Signing Day news the moment we get it. For everybody here at WPTV and ESPN1063, a big thanks to all of you, all of our guests, and hanging out with us tonight was a good time, was it not? Have a great night.
Each player and the school that they are